everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we have a video that's for the beginners. We're going to show you how to put film back to back, and then we're going to show you how to put the film on the car for someone that's going to come behind you and tint. Right here he's putting the film back to back, and you want to start by putting the first piece of film with the factory edge on the bottom and with the liner against the glass and the film sticking out. Then on the second piece that he just put on, the tint is against the wall and the liner is sticking out. So you want the two pieces of tint touching and both of the liners sticking out. He'll use plenty of moisture. This is one of our new guys that's learning how to tint here. So I always tell him to use plenty of moisture so I could slide around really easily. Line up the two factory edges on the bottom and then seal it softly, and then he'll check to make sure it's lined up. And if it's lined up right where you want it, then you can go back with firm pressure. Plenty of water in there so that you don't have to worry about the film catching and creasing. That's the most frustrating thing as a beginner. It's all the little things that you don't think about when you're trying to learn, and you crease film or cut film too short or make a simple error that gets you frustrated. So especially for our beginners, we always tell them in every stage of the game, use more than enough water, because we'd rather have to squeegee some water out of the shop than have film crease because it catched and you accidentally left a dry spot. So once again, just to reiterate, you want tint to tint liners out when you're putting film back to back. And this is so that you can make two templates for each side of the car at the same time. So you see at the beginning he sealed the factory edge, and then after the factory edge is sealed, squeegeed out the rest of the film. Here he's going to take both pieces off of the peel board and he's going to take them over to the car. And when he takes them over to the car, he's going to hopefully start with the film high on the glass and then slide it down into place. And once again, when he gets over to the car, we always encourage that they use plenty of moisture just to make it easy. Nothing frustrates me more as a shop owner than to see our guys squeegee a board, put the film up, have there not be enough moisture, have to take the film back down off the car or off the board to spray more water underneath there, and then so on and so forth. It's just like he did right there. Spray more than enough water, and then you only have to do it once. So he sets it a little bit high, so he did that correct, and then he'll pull it down into position rather than slapping it, having it hit the paint of the car, and then sliding it up and getting that much more contaminants all over the place. So he has it high. He'll butt it up against the rubber so it's nice and straight, and then he'll curl it up and pull it down just a little bit, enough to where it's underneath the gasket when we install the film. And I would have liked for him to trim the scrap of the scrap of the film off before doing this part, because the corner, the right hand corner of the film that's folded over onto the windshield, that'll grab sometimes and make it difficult for you to slide the film down. If you set it on the glass, trim that upper right hand corner off, then it makes it much easier to slide into position. Now that he does have it in the correct position, he should just do one little spray right there in the center. You don't want to get the sides wet, and then seal the top. The top's where you want it to be sealed, because when you make the top cut on the edge of the glass, you don't want to be cutting through fingers. He did it just right, spraying it just in the center, leaving the sides dry, so that when he goes back with his Sharpie to make his marks, the film's dry. It just saves a little bit more time rather than having to go back with paper towel and dry off the edges. Okay, he'll use two fingers, spread apart the two fingers, press them into the rubber, and then mark where the glass meets the rubber. Mark where glass meets the rubber. He does not need 3 incisions. You only need 2. It's going to be a straight line. So you only need to do a top and a bottom mark. And then he'll trim the scrap in the upper right hand corner. And in this video, he's just getting it ready for one of our experienced installers that can come behind him, make the top cut, which is the most challenging part for beginners, and then finish off the template by connecting the 2 Sharpie marks on each side with a ruler, and then install the film after shrinking it. So he'll curl the film back and keep his blade away from the car. His blade's pointing straight up to the car so he doesn't have to worry about it accidentally hitting the paint. And using his hand as a guide. His hand's rested on the film. So when it folds over like that, it's all in control. So now this is totally set up for one of our experienced installers to come behind him and just finish everything off. You're watching the Tintstitute. I'm Austin Cook.